Police are still searching for 4 teenagers who have been missing now for 48 hours. Officials claim that while normally such a case would move into missing persons, the fact that these teens were recording a viral internet series creates complications. Self-identified as shuffler hunters, the group was on the prowl for the Bay Area urban legend and broadcasting their adventures. While they were unable to comment at this point in the developing investigation, police seem to be leaning towards the conclusion that this is all an elaborate publicity stunt. If you have any information about the shuffler teens, please contact the police tip line.
It's a hot day out. How's it going, everybody? I am Huskies Ghost, bringing you an episode of Creepy But True Gaming. If you're new to the channel, well, welcome all. This is a series I like to do where we look into creepy finds in video games. And this is going to be the start of Season 7. Yay! I kind of figured what better way to start Season 7 off than a pretty interesting creepy moment. A little while back, I covered a game called Watch Dogs, and there were some creepy moments in Watch Dogs. I mean, the game itself was okay, but there were some creepy moments. And then we went ahead and moved on to Watch Dogs 2. Oh, wrong game. Moved on to Watch Dogs 2. We cracked in a little bit of San Francisco, and we found some weird things once in a while, and there's still more creepy things to find. This episode, guys, Watch Dogs 2 brought something pretty creepy. After the previous video that I did of Watch Dogs 2, an update happened on the game which kind of gave us a pretty, I guess I could say, a very creepy scavenger hunt. And now what is this little mystery that happened? Well, a thing happened in the game that was called the Shuffler. The Shuffler in Watch Dogs 2 is pretty mysterious and gets pretty creepy. I mean, it's something that you could see on the episode of Unsolved Mysteries, and I think that's really fitting for it. After reaching through a specific moment in the game of Watch Dogs 2, you will trigger the event of the Shuffler. And we're going to go deep down in good detail of what this whole Shuffler thing is. So go ahead, grab your popcorn, sodas, girlfriends, boyfriends, Yoshis, squids, Marios, and everything else that makes you happy. And let's get right down to this episode. Watch Dogs 2. The event will begin a little after you meet with T-Bone. You can be able to find one of the 4 Shuffler signs hidden throughout San Francisco. When these signs appear, this will trigger the event known as the Hunt for the Shuffler 4. A radio broadcast will report about the missing teens and it will spread across social media. It becomes the talk of the city. After scanning the first sign, which can go by any order, you will receive a strange recording. This is believed to be a victim of this creature known as the Shuffler. This will spark a conversation with Marcus and the gang, and the mystery begins.
It was in my head. In my ears, like little insect legs shuffling around. I tried everything. Flushed them out with water. I stuck Q-tips as far in as I could. The doctor told me I had damaged my own eardrums, but the noise kept getting louder and louder. The guys convinced me to come back out here. Maybe it's crazy, but I need to find out what is in my head.
Whoa, this is Shuffler territory? Ray, you ever hear of any symbols associated with the Shuffler legend?
Yeah. Weird patterns. Alien geometry. Grids and webs that don't make any sense.
Yep, we definitely have some of that here.
What's a Shuffler?
Urban legend.
A creepy one.
Story goes, if you try to make sense of it, you'll lose your damn mind. Might end up in an asylum just drawing that shit up on the walls with no idea why. Or what it even is. Man. It was there once. And it was trippy.
Okay.
Oh, this is so cool.
Looking through the DedSec channel. Other people are finding these too. Let me just compare yours with the others. Okay. It's a hoax.
What? Why?
It looks like an alphabet number swap. Too easy.
And maybe they wanted the message to be clear.
So why not just write it in English?
Could be about getting you to just read the symbols. Maybe that's how they get into your head and drive you insane.
Not funny. See if you can find some more and I can complete the alphabet cipher.
Count on it. I'm gonna go find them.
Good. Just keep an eye out for shufflers.
We learn in this first conversation of the idea of the Shuffler. Marcus explains it's an Old Bay urban legend, a creature that makes a shuffle noise. As T-Bone, Ray, explains is the Shuffler has the ability to get inside your head, drive you insane.
Где-то рядом. Ищите.
I've seen it. I don't really know if I can describe it. It's not really there. It's in between places. Like when you focus on floaters in your vision. Between your eye and what you're seeing. That's where it lives. We can't quite be here. So it brings us there. Wherever. There it is.
Guys, I found another symbol. This is so fucking weird and amazing.
Where did the Shuffler story come from?
Old Bay Area legend about this creature that kind of lives between worlds. In the cracks. Sometimes you can hear it shuffling inside the walls, or maybe on the other side of a fence. The way my dad told it, the thing really likes trains too.
You know, back in the glory days of the railroad, one car hopper had to stay awake while the others slept, listening for that shuffling noise. A lot of disappearances back then. Right on those tracks. Well, I mean, the equipment has been replaced over the past century. But they say blood-stained wood softens. It'll never support a rail as well as it did before.
Stop. Stop.
Any luck on the decoding, Josh?
I've got about 1/3 of it. I'll need some more samples.
Okay.
Bitch, we are trying to listen here. Okay, in the second conversation we hear is Marcus again explains the Shuffler is a Bay local urban legend. It gets the name Shuffler because of shuffling noises. We also learn the Shuffler likes train tracks and lives in a different dimension. We also realize that Josh is getting a little freaked out.
Oh, Jesus! Benny just got pulled into the wall! He just... God, Benny! Where did all his blood go? It got absorbed into the cracks! It sucked it right in! I don't think I can run from it anymore! I think it's inside me! It's going to pull me in too! I can feel it tugging! Ah!
Sending another Shuffler symbol your way. I hope we're getting close.
You guys are kidding, right? There's no such thing as a Shuffler.
Probably not, but there have been a few hundred disappearances linked to it. Some kids came out here to film a Shuffler documentary. All they found were 4 weird little audio tapes.
What was on them?
Nobody knows. Police have kept the Shuffler tapes locked up. Of course, they deny any tapes exist.
They exist. I've heard some of them, but I don't have the set yet.
You're just messing with us.
Nope. They are real, and goddamn are they creepy. Either these kids are running a brilliant hoax, or something really bad happened to them.
Okay. I'm going back to coding now.
This third conversation we learn there are tapes of the missing teens. These are what we are hearing. How Marcus is getting them though is pretty unclear through scanning these signs. But we'll get into these tapes a little later.
Richard and Benny are both gone now. And I am too. It folded my body, broke it down, tucked it into the cracks between space. Is this how it travels? How can I ever come back with no body? Can anyone hear me? Hello? Hello?
Ray, I found the Shuffler tapes.
What? Oh, you kidding me?
Nope. Some weird-ass shit on these.
I don't want to freak anybody out, but I just heard something that sounded a lot like shuffling.
No, I can't hear you. No.
You guys seriously don't hear that? It's so loud.
Back in the 60s, the government was experimenting with mass hysteria. Turns out, certain concepts, certain words, spread faster than others. And they thought they could induce paranoia, suicidal thoughts in the enemy's ranks.
And reality TV was born.
You guys suck.
What now?
I think I've got the cipher done, but where's the message? I feel like we're missing a piece of the puzzle.
There's gotta be something out there.
In the final conversation, we learn Marcus has all of the tapes, which we'll listen in greater detail soon. Satara begins to hear shuffling noises, but she can be pranking just to mess with Josh. Even though the hunt is somewhat complete, we learn that there is one last part of the puzzle, but everything was in a halt at this point, for the time being. We learn these tapes belonged to a missing teenagers who was doing a documentary of the Shuffler. We learn 2 of the teens' names, Benny and Richard.
Richard and Benny are both gone now.
Benny has been center stage with this mystery thanks to a picture found in the Dead Sick tumbler and the laptop found. In these tapes, we hear the shuffler got into their heads or in other forms. One tape explains shuffling in her head.
It was in my head. In my ears, like little insect legs shuffling around.
Another pulled Benny through a wall.
Oh, Jesus! Benny just got pulled into the wall! He just... God, Benny! Where did all his blood go?
Another stuck in a different world.
Can't quite wait here. Time. So it brings us there. Wherever. There it is.
And another witnessing an attack and then being attacked himself. These tapes prove what Marcus and friends theorized is true. But this last part of the puzzle, it took some time and it took some hunting, but it came together. It's thanks to clues. If we use the camera feature on the phone when we look into these signs, we find a hidden message. There are 4 of them, and of course they will be misplaced. If we put them in order, we will get the following. Can anyone hear me? What can this be? We learned Benny's laptop has been found and can be seen at the hackerspace in the game. If we look into this laptop by standing near, we hear a strange sound. This is a hidden message. The message is, I can't come back. I can't bring it through. Benny. Could he mean his body? And how was this also figured out? We'll get into that in a moment. While speaking about the hackerspace, we can see Josh left a clue for us. It's the symbols and translations to those symbols. What do they mean? When looking back at the locations, if we search with Hacknet, we will find a hidden symbol within these signs. I understand that these symbols are different within every game, so even if you start a new game and for everybody else, these symbols could be a little different for you. If we take all 4 of these signs, we get a series of numbers. They make no sense, so of course I was stumped for the time being, but we understand this is a translator, which is how we used to translate the laptop's message. It was time for a break. The full event wasn't in the game yet, but Ubisoft urged players to keep searching for clues. At this time, I searched around. I even revisited the woods thinking something might have changed, but no luck. So I decided to think about the creature itself. On Tumblr, Wrench posted his imagined shuffler of how the creature might have looked. Not a piece of art I hang in a museum. We learned the shuffler is otherworldly. T-Bone may have theorized it being an alien of some kind.
Weird patterns, alien geometry, grids and webs that don't make any sense.
With how the shuffler messes with technology, it's not too far-fetched. Aliens have history of reporting to mess with technology. It can also be an insect of some kind. Whatever the shuffler is, an extraterrestrial or a mutated bug, it's a creature that belongs in the dark. After waiting and debating, news has popped up in the Tumblr site. A box. What lies within is a series of locations. We can see a hint of letters, order, and brick. When translating the rest, we get 4 death site, time, no order, find brick. The shuffler has amazing grammar. We also learned the name of the teens. Benny, Richard, Eli, and Sema? I could have pronounced some of those wrong, but that doesn't matter right now. It was coming clear. There was an order of something that involves a brick. The pictures shown has walls of brick. It was figured out and the numbers we are given had a meaning to order and bricks. We know there are 4 shuffler signs and 4 numbers. When I translated these, I came with the numbers 2410. However, I came to a conclusion I had the wrong order. You see, these signs had a order and able to spot what order to go by. It's by the hidden "Can anyone hear me?" The order is this: the abandoned train cart, by the lake, the tunnel, and last, the graveyard. When I put them in the correct order, the correct set of numbers became exposed to me. The numbers were being 1402. Still, one issue was still in the way figuring out these numbers. What was the purpose of these? I decided to visit one of the areas pictured in the photograph and waited around.
Whoa, everyone okay?
Then I noticed it. On my map, it's treated as a phone, and I saw the time on it. There were 4 numbers on this time. So what else had 4 numbers? The shuffler numbers. And I noticed 14 wasn't on the clock, but what if it went by military time? That would mean 2 o'clock on the game's time. I decided to run back here near that time and waited. Then it happened.
Am I hearing things?
No, it's impossible. 5, 8, 13, stop. 21, stop.
No, it wasn't real. It couldn't be.
Marcus, did you find anything?
No, nothing.
So it was all a hoax?
Yeah, mm-hmm.
Oh, okay. That's a shame, but I'm glad it's not real.
Yeah.
Completing the event gives Marcus a pretty sweet costume. And it's fun to use and looks cool on him. Oh my god, what are you doing? So let's go back to the event itself. Marcus finds himself somewhere obviously scared and flashes of images of people are there. Could these be the missing teens? Once out, Marcus calls back the crew and declares it all as a hoax. To be honest, he wanted to keep Josh sane. So this here lies a question. What was the shuffler? As we wear the suit and use the melee attack, we know it's not Marcus's voice talking, but the shuffler's. We can safely say this costume somehow is possessed with, or maybe is, the shuffler. And if we listen carefully during the attacks, he says interesting things, but the meaning to them is a mystery even to me. And there we have it, guys. That was the shuffler. What do you guys think of the episode? Hopefully you guys like it. If you did, well, you know the drill. Until next time, guys. Catch you all later.